Yeah, this video is about long-term care costs in Ohio, and actually, frankly, anywhere in the United States, basically. Unfortunately, most people don't really comprehend what the ultimate costs of long-term care are going to be. We basically figure if you've lived to over 50 years, your odds of ending up in a nursing home are pretty high. I've seen like 70%. Is a possibility of ending up in a nursing home. And gee, if you end up in a nursing home, you know, Medicare is going to pay for the first 100 days or so. So you get a couple months covered, but then thereafter, they're going to be on what we call private pay. Private pay means they collect up your assets and they start billing you at maybe $10,000, $12,000 per month, depending on where you're at, what facility you're in, etc. So, and unfortunately, the average stay in a nursing home is 4 years. So that's relatively simple math, even for an attorney. But yeah, if you do 4%, or rather 4 years times, let's see, now if we use $10,000, you get 120,000 per year, right? Times 4, $480,000 is your potential average exposure for a nursing home. And we've seen that go to, we've had clients stay in nursing home for over 10 years. 10 years is at, you know, I mean, that gets 1.2 million, something like that. I mean, that's amazing, a huge amount of money that often doesn't leave room for a legacy to the family. So what happens is people literally end up selling their home, converting it to cash, paying it to the nursing home, and then congratulations, you're on Medicaid. So there is a way to avoid that. It's not through gifting. We would not recommend ever gifting your residence or house or real estate or substantial asset to a family member. There are many reasons for not doing that. Most of them tax related. The other one is ownership related. If you give it away, you don't have it. So if you need it later, that's a problem. So, but what most people do, and we recommend, is we do a trust that is meant to preserve a giant part of your legacy. We do that with a revocable living trust. So you have two trusts. You have a revocable living trust and another trust that's meant to protect your assets for long-term costs. So we recommend, consider that if you're among the group of people, like most of us, who haven't set aside $480,000 out of our legacy to pay for long-term care costs. And I have literally talked to people and said, well, that'll never happen because I have a plan for that. And it turns out the plan is my 9mm. And that is not, why resort to doing something as horrible as that when you could simply plan for it and avoid it. And like we said to the person who suggested the 9mm, the problem is when you get that age and in that condition, you won't know where your 9mm is. So would you rather rely on that horrible estate plan that'll probably traumatize your family, or do planning now? That's the stakes.